Hi there, my name is Joshua Migadde, and today we are going to be passing through this text animator project. So immediately you get the text animator project, you'll be able to find it in your downloads. On Mac, you can easily open it just by double clicking it. I use archive utility and it immediately opens it up. Other people can use an archiver, which is over there. Yeah, I normally use an archiver, but for those people who don't have it, you can still use archive utility over there. And immediately to open up a folder which will have After Effects, Documentation, Premiere Pro, and Tutorial. For those who will be using Premiere Pro and After Effects, I'm going to help you pass through this entire project just by showing you how to import the files and how to play around with them. And currently we are using Premiere Pro, as you see in the background over there. I'm having Premiere Pro open, so I'm quickly going to switch back to Finder. And Premiere, we are going to have MOGRT files. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I'll just be calling them MOGRT files. MOGRT files are a file type where you can create motion graphics templates either in Premiere Pro or in After Effects. So in this case, we are having mainly for Premiere, and then After Effects, you'll be having a project file. So how do we import MOGRT files into Premiere Pro? It's actually quite easy. You don't need extra plugins, you don't need anything in order to make this happen, because these are natively supported by Premiere. What I do is I come all the way up here to Window and I open up Essential Graphics. When I open up Essential Graphics, it's going to show up on this side. How I import them is I select all of them and I drag them in like that. Or what I could do is I would come all the way down here and I say add. It says install motion graphics template. And then I'll come to wherever I got it from. Right now I'm using downloads, text animator, Premiere Pro, and then I can select whichever one. How do you play around with this? It's really quite simple. I have 13 of them, and in the promo you probably watched, even at the beginning of this video, I used all the text you saw there. I used the MOGRT files that I created for you guys. That's everything I used. I did not do anything extra. Everything you see over there. The text you saw in the promo are the same text I used here, and I used the exact same MOGRT files that you're seeing right now in this timeline. In this Premiere Pro tutorial, we are going to be using the promo I created for the text animator template. So easily, how do we use these things? So it's easy. I just come and I can pick one. I can say color flick. If I choose color flick, I just drag it into the sequence. By the time you use Premiere Pro, you probably know what a sequence is. But yeah, and then I can change out the scale like that. I can change the color if I'm having because it's going to be something like this. Sorry about that. It's going to be something like this. It's going to keep switching colors from word to word. All right. So I can change the color. If I don't really like blue, I like blue. But if I don't want blue and I want something red, I can have red 100%. I can have red, and immediately the text will change to red. And it will be giving me that kind of color flick thing, moving from one word to another. How I edit this text is I'll come all the way up here to edit text, and I can change that word. I can change it from color flick to timeline. I've just used two words right now, and immediately it will change, and you have the same exact thing. So there are times, let me say if I have more words, and I can say timeline sequence. If I have more words in the text, it's going to look different, You see that? So obviously I have to scale down. I can either scale down, or I could reduce my font just like that. So if I have more words and I'm passing through, it still plays, but I don't want it to touch a specific word. I can come and change my color range, just like that. So basically, that's how you edit text. So there are 13 of them, and I'm just going to pass through this entire promo, and I show you how I used them. So the first one was text animator. If I'm going to deactivate this background a bit, so that we don't see anything. Okay. So we just have text animator, and then I have the word text animator over there with a flipped E, and I can obviously change the font size again, and I can also change the color of the text. I can say green for those who love green, and immediately it also change. I don't know if that's green, but that seems like it's green. Green. Yeah, that's green. Or I like white, majorly that's what I used. And what I did for the other thing, which you can see with the background over there, but I'll just have it on top, is I changed the opacity of this text to 1%, but I can bring it all the way to 100. And it's all the way under on the second layer, just under this text animator word. Basically, that's how I did that. You don't need to do much. You don't need to know a lot of After Effects or Premiere Pro. It's just really simple. Drag and drop, edit, you're done. Same thing I did over here with the text. I had this text, same thing. If I come and I choose that, this text animator is what you see up there. And this other one is the second one you see down here. All I did was copy and make them smaller. If you see my font size, it's all around 38. And then I change the position. Changing the position, that's how I did that. I just come all the way here in position and I drag it down or up, dependingly. But I don't want, let's just leave that like that. Same thing that I probably did this side is the same thing I did over here. Bringing out the words text animation, Premiere Pro plus After Effects. This is also one of the MOGRT files. I still don't know how you say that word, but I'll learn soon. And it's already created like that. All you need to do is come and edit your text. I can say plus more, and immediately it will change. You don't need to do anything special. You can change its scale, change its position, but it's going to bring all the way to one word. And then I'll take this to and more. And what I did for this to give you that kind of sliding up effect is I used keyframes in Premiere. So if I have keyframes, you can see over here, I have a keyframe of its original position and its new position, So immediately it reaches that point, this next text comes in and types itself. So that's how I achieved that. It shows that even with this text, you can still have your normal settings. You can change your position, scale all the way on the left this side, change your rotation, opacity if you want. Though I could do the same thing over here, but for those who are used to Premiere, you can have the same control on the left side and then go all the way. Here I screen recorded. You see it's called screen recording. I screen recorded myself working in Premiere and also in After Effects, and I brought them there, and same text. Didn't use text from anywhere else. I used the same text, different versions of the text, as you see that one of the 13. Some of them I used over here, and I put them over there. And also to tell you, use an After Effects. For those who will be using After Effects, if you don't have Premiere Pro, you can use it. I have the exact same texts in After Effects. I've given you the project file. You'll be able to use it and then export to use in other software. Basically, that's how this entire thing is. It's really that simple. You just go all the way to Essential Graphics. You come all the way to Window, have Essential Graphics on, then importing. If I switch back to Finder, importing, you just drag like that, and they'll be in. Right now I selected the favorites one, but you'll see them over there. We have typewriter 2. If I get typewriter 2, it's going to load, and I'm going to come and change the scale or change the font size. Just change the font size. Play around with my position if I want. Sometimes it may not be centered. That's why I normally go in for the scale. And change it to, let's say, something like promo or tutorial. Let me just say promo. And when I'm done, I click away, and immediately the text will change, and it will have that kind of typewriter feel. One that is random, that's why we have a random seed, and the other that isn't random is typewriter 1. If I drag, same thing, drag it, and then I'll come and it will just type all the way. So if I come all the way here, I'll just scale this and it will give me that kind of typewriter feel. So this text, you can use them in any way. You can use them in lyric videos, you can use them in music videos, you can use them as titles, you can also use them as lower thirds. Basically, that's how it is. So if you want to export, obviously, if you use Premiere, the shortcut is Command M, and then immediately to bring up this window where you can export. For those who will be using After Effects, let's quickly switch to After Effects. Just going to slide workspaces. When you come to After Effects, you're going to have Showcase. Showcase is one of the compositions. It's a composition containing all other compositions. That's how I do it. That's how I organize my work. And in each one of them, you're going to see it's the same exact effects that we saw in Premiere, but this time around in After Effects. So I've organized them in such a way that you can just come and click on the one you want. As we saw Repeater earlier, the one that had Add More, I'll just come and open it like that and change the text if I want. You can view your effects from there, text, but I'll just come and change the text over here. If I double click and I say, and more, you see immediately the text changes, right? And, sorry, caps lock off. And it's going to do that. That's the same thing for all these other compositions that are found in the Showcase composition. Or you could come all the way here to Comps and you open it, you're still going to find all the 13. You can select all of them if I want. You can do whatever you want, there are 13 of them. Immediately I'm done. So in After Effects, it's going to be the same thing like here in Premiere. If I went back to Premiere, this text is on top. It's actually transparent. So same thing here in After Effects. If I click this toggle transparency grid, you see that white gray checker box. It's going to be more of a showing you that it's transparent. If I have a background, let me just create a solid real quick. If I create a solid and I give it a color, let me say red, 100% red, and I bring it to the background, you see, if I come and toggle the transparency grid, nothing is going to happen because there's something in the background. But if I remove that, or if I just click that eye icon and I come and I toggle back my transparency grid, it's going to show completely transparency. So normally, if you're going to be exporting to use in another software, you're going to need the transparency thing. You're going to need the transparency, which we call alpha channel. You're going to need the alpha channel in the other software. So in the meantime, I'll open up DaVinci Resolve so that by the time we switch to it, it will be open. I'll just come and export it. Exporting it, I'll come to Composition and Pre-Render. If I select Pre-Render, it's going to ask me where I should save it. In Downloads, because I'm just using this exact Downloads folder as an example. Normally it's messy, but I had to organize it so that it looks clean. And I'm going to save it as an MOV file. I have to be very careful that when I come, I'm exporting it in Apple ProRes 4444. So let's just do that again. I'll come all the way to Output Module down here in the corner and I'll click it. It will show me other options, things I can change, but I have to make sure in my format options that I am using Apple ProRes 4444 or 4444 XQ. But I'm going to use 4444. And I have to make sure that my channel says RGB plus alpha. So when I click RGB and plus alpha, it will give me the text and the alpha channel, which is the transparency. So when I press OK, and then I render it out, immediately it will start the entire render process. Alright, so I've finished exporting it, and yes, I did cut it short because it's going to still be encoded. And if I switch back to DaVinci Resolve, let me drag DaVinci Resolve up here. Alright. So if I open DaVinci Resolve, I'm still going to have this kind of plain thing, but I can easily go to my Finder window. Let me just move this all the way this side. And it's in my downloads, that's where I exported it. I'll still have it. I'll be able to preview it if I want. And I'll just drag it into the media pool in DaVinci Resolve. It's going to ask me if I can change the frame rate. I exported this in 29.97 frames, but in DaVinci Resolve, I'm using 24, so I can say don't change, and I can bring it, go all the way to my editing tab. If I bring this all the way here into my timeline, you're going to see that I am having the same effect. As you saw in After Effects, it's all the way showing up here. So this shows that you can use the effect as much as you want in any software, okay? And for those who want to know, how do I bring a background? Let me just choose that exact background that I did use in the promo. So if I bring in the same background that I used in the promo, it's going to look something like this. And if I come all the way here, you're going to see it's appearing in the background. Let me just cut this section, one that can easily be seen, and I bring it all the way here. If I put the background just under the text, it's going to be on top. But if I do the opposite, it will be on top. It will be blocking the file that we exported from After Effects. So I just need to bring it back down. And if I do that, the text is going to be right on top with the same effect that we saw in After Effects. And I can still show you that it's transparent. If I deactivate this, you see, nothing's happening. If I activate it again, it's going to be on top as always. Then you can export and have it in your video, have a crazy animation, animated text in your video.